Today was a Thursday, and on any day that there is a Thursday, things happen. And what happened today was I got in an argument with a troll on the internet for way too long. It ended in a peaceful resolution, which pretty much confirms that the simulation is real, because that typically never happens. It inspired an idea. I was like, what if I go back and I look at an old what I'm buying video? We look at what I bought, what I paid for it, and how I feel about it now. And so that's what this is going to be. We're going to go roast some old buys from an old what I'm buying video. And it starts right now. Deepest gratitude to our esteemed patrons that allow us to do this channel full time. We love you so much. We love you, 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 love you a million infinity. All right, big shout out to our channel sponsors, Card Conduit. Great spot to sell your MTG singles. If you have singles that are piling up, stuff worth $1 or more, definitely check out Card Conduit. That's a great spot to convert those singles into cash and put it in your wallet or turn it into more singles. And if you are buying singles, TCG Player is a great spot to go for those cards. It's a great marketplace, and you can find competitive prices for your favorite MTG pickups. Dragon Shield for protecting your cards always and forever. Dragon Shield, the best sleeves, hands down, not even a question. MTG stocks we use so much for buying on a budget, tracking card prices, trying to keep up with all-time highs, all-time lows. It's a great site for that. Moxfield for organizing your decks online, and then our new sponsored Drip Shop, where we are going to be twice per month, just opening some packs, hanging out with people, doing a ton of giveaways and stuff. So come find us over on Drip Shop as well. You can find links to everything in the description of the video. Shout out to all of our channel sponsors. We're over here on the channel, and we have what I'm buying. Let's just pick the last one that we did, which was August of 2023. We'll see what I bought. This will be episode 1 of the What I'm Buying roast. Ta-da-da! I just got have to be able to hear it. Oh, this is a Joel video. It needs to be a Jake video. So the video that we're going to go with is this one from July of 2023. Let's see what we ended up doing here. Go over some recent MTG pickups that I have done in the last month or so. Dominaria United this up from Amazon when they did the flash sale on Prime Day. Or actually, it was the day after Prime Day I picked it up. Or no, it might have been on the actual day. Either way, it was 120 bucks, down from what is typically around 180 after tax and shipping. This came out to 120 after tax and shipping. 120 after tax and shipping for this thing. We'll use our sponsor, TCG Player. Shout out TCG Player. Let's go. TCG Player. You can use our affiliate link. Dominaria United Collector Display. I said 120 out the door. Lowest is 182. I'd say we did well there. If I had recommended, which nothing on this channel is financial advice in perpetuity of the channel. But if I were to have recommended buying that at 120, I feel like in this situation, you wouldn't be upset that you did that. But that was on one of those Amazon Prime dump days. So let's go back to the vid. Since we don't know how this is going to go, maybe we do something like a ding for something good. And then we'll be like, for something bad. But I'll figure out what noise to use. But this one would be so far good. Let's go to widespread brutality. Oh yeah, this is going to be definitely worth a roast. If something's 33% off, it's really hard for me to ignore it. It's just like I get to jump in, and again, for that gamble. Look at me up there. This is kind of fun. Widespread brutality. There are multiples of these that I picked up all around. What's up, old me? That's crazy. Younger me. I'm old me. Damn. Around the range of 142, 157, and 1.45 US dollars. $1.40, $1.50 for widespread brutality. Oh yeah, this is definitely going to be whatever the negative noise is. So I want to hear why I did this though, because I'm pretty sure it was in response to Lord of the Rings and a mass. 33% off, it's really hard for me to ignore it. There are multiples of these that I picked up all around the range of 142, 157, and 1.45 US dollars. So this is the promo foil. And I bought this in response to
why it's not financial
amass
advice.
Stuff that was spoiled in Lord of the Rings. I picked some of this up when I saw Amass was coming back. I was like, oh, well, I've opened tons of War of the Spark. This is why it's so important to abandon these old kind of regulars, you know how much War of the Spark has been opened over on this channel. I think I'm going to bring up card images since my top-down camera is a little bit fuzzy from far away. Since Amass matters, this 2 red, 1 black, and 1 other. Amass 2, then the art. So what do we learn here? Don't buy base copies of jank just because a new mechanic is printed. Army you amassed deals damage equal its power to each non-army creature. So if you are in an Amass Matters type commander deck or something like that, your big army will amass, destroy everything else, and then it's like the only big creature on the board, depending how your opponents have built their decks. But yep, sure, that is how that works. But yeah, we can see the main. This is another thing about speccing cards. Unless the entire community organically finds that card because it is good, and the community kind of works like an algorithm, right? It like takes them a while to sort out what cards are good, but eventually it does get sorted out. What's the issue with Widespread Brutality? We're looking at a 4-cost sorcery speed, very niche. It's not very good. So this was just probably a poor choice. This is why we say not financial advice. All right, next up, Doors of Durin. Reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, put it onto the battlefield tapped and attacking. Until your next turn, it gains trample if you control a dwarf, and hexproof if you control an elf. I have said in the short before, I don't even care about the last part of the text that says until your next turn, it gains trample if you control a dwarf, and hexproof if you control an elf. Don't even care about that. It's just a legendary artifact that's 1 green, 1 red, and 3 other, and it makes it that when I remember this card, and I have multiple copies of this. When I attack, I can scry 2, and I may reveal the top card of my library if it's a creature, put it out into the battlefield. It's a pretty big deal. I think this card is pretty sick. This is not the only copy of this card in this video. Actually, you can pull these down because for some reason, it's just so bright, and there's just this insane reflection because I can't get my setup right. Oh, I do like that this happened. I remember this, opening this. But what did I pay for it? Another Lord of the Rings card here. We have Doors of Durin, legendary artifact. Whenever you attack, scry 2, and then you may reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, put it onto the battlefield tapped and attacking. Until your next turn, it gains trample if you control a dwarf, and hexproof if you control an elf. I have said in the short before, I don't even care about that last part of the text that says until your next turn, it gains trample if you control a dwarf, and hexproof if you control an elf. Don't even care about that. It's just a legendary artifact that's 1 green, 1 red, and 3 other, and it makes it when I attack, I can scry 2, and I may reveal the top card of my library if it's a creature, put it onto the battlefield. It's a pretty big deal. I think this card is pretty sick. This is not the only copy of this card in this video. Another Doors. This one is a foil. That extended art Doors of Durin, $1.95, and then the foil is $3.27. $1.95 and $3.27. Smart. Goodbye. Near mint foil, 54 cents. Thankfully the shipping helps. Oh goodness gracious. Yeah, Doors of Durin. We did bad noise. Talk about that. And then we have another Invoke, Trample, and Ward 2. Ancient Impersaur enters the battlefield with 2 1/1 counters on it for each creature that convoked it. We know in the past that Convoke is a very, very strong mechanic. Super strong. This card is good, though. I don't know why this didn't take off. Extended, $3.58. $3.58 for an extended Ancient Impersaur. Wow. Yep.
Look up idiot in the dictionary. You know what you'll find?
Picture me?
No! The definition of the word idiot, which you fucking are!
It is trending up, though. This is when I probably bought. What's the time on this? July 2023. Yeah. Now, I've already looked at some of these prices, and I've, like, overpaid for that. But I still think that this card in the long term of the game has legs. Like we've seen before, that Convoke is very good. So I think this card is just like, people are going to tinker with it for a while, and they're going to figure out something that's good with it. I saw a couple cool modern decks that were on YouTube. Definitely a bad pickup at that price, but that was waiting a little bit after that set came out. Oh, Dreadhorde Invasion, so this is just also in response to Lord of the Rings Amass. Again, in line with like the Amass kind of thing. Put a 1/1 counter on an army you control. If you don't control one, create a 0/0 black zombie army creature token. When it first came out, people kind of compared it to Bitter Blossom. It's not nearly as good. Bitter Blossom. While I have the correct information here, buying this was probably a poor choice. Let's listen to how much I paid. The tokens have evasion as their flyers, and this one is pretty narrow. But again, with Amass becoming more and more in the limelight, if we get more support for that in the future, that becomes good. Constant Mists. Oh, that Dreadhorde Invasion would have been $3.62 for the foil. $3.62. Pretty much, you know, a little bit worth a little bit more than what I paid for it. I could see this being an important piece in amass strategies. I like this card. It's fine. Shout out to Bobby Z, who loves the fog effects. This card is just good, man. I bought this for Etali, the new Etali that came out in March of the Machine. It just one green, one other, instant speed. It has buyback, sacrifice land, and creatures deal no combat damage this turn. So it's just the fog that you can get back. I play so much ramp in that deck that being able to play this twice is already insane value if I buy it back once, but I would probably buy it back more than that just because I have so many extra lands. The deck is very much Voltron, so a lot of the time I'm left wide open. So a card like this can do big things. Capsize in our Commander League really kept me in the game, kept Joel and I in the game for a long time. Cards with buyback are just stupidly good because you're able to play the effect, and in Commander, a lot of these cards were designed before big mana bases.
Yes,
formats like
but
Commander
what did you
were really
pay for
considered,
it,
you know,
man?
that card was $9.42. So the Constant Mists, got that in July. It's been on a trend upward. It's just a good card. And it's also a card that hasn't been reprinted in a very long time. And it probably should be reprinted. This would have been a good pickup at that price. You can see there's heavily played ones. There's even a near mint one at around that price as well. Pretty much even. But that's an old card. Hasn't been reprinted in a long time, and it has a scarcity factor. Next up, we got City on Fire. Now, this was a card that had a lot of hype. This was a card that I kind of wrote off for a while because it had such a high price. It's a card that I had wanted to acquire. Again, Convoke. Very good. It has Convoke on it, and it's a big splashy enchantment. 3 red, 5 other. Convoke. If a source you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals triple that damage instead. This is a massive effect. Extended art card. This was from March of the Machine. I would put it right directly into my Karavik the Merciless deck, where I don't care who dies. It's a quick game. Everybody dies. It's a great time. It's like Reservoir Dogs at the end of that. At the end of that pod. City on Fire. This was a card that I saw get up to like 15s and 20s, and then just a little while back, a couple weeks back, I saw, wow, that card kind of didn't take off in the way that people expected, and City on Fire, I paid $7.25 for after tax and shipping. Card that I just want for the EDH collection. Maybe, and I do say that, a card that I just want for the EDH collection. You get it for even less than that. Yeah, so pretty much everything so far in this video has been a loss, other than the Dominaria United box, the Constant Mists. I'm sure that these Epicures are pretty much even, and then the Dreadhorde Invasion. Looks cool, got the foil extended variant. It was a lot cheaper than the hype price when the set first came out, pays to wait. And next up we have I got
SRAM.
the foil extended. Hold on, it's like right around the same price. So like a massive $2 loss on that. Never gonna be able to recover. I hope I don't like starve that day when I like not being able to get a McChicken. I just wanted this variant in foil. It's not serialized or anything like that. It's just one of my favorite cards, and I don't have this foil Multiverse Legends version. This card I bought for, where is SRAM? $3.29, and I'm pretty sure it's worth like $1 now. It's just so crazy how like the OG masterpieces that have these frames are so sought after, and then Wizards of the Coast is just like, look, if we print it in that frame, people will freak out. And it's really just, you know, they see how it works. I mean, it's not like finding one of those treasure cards back in the day. I mean, when you've been here for all of it, you're just gonna see, oh, it's not a masterpiece SRAM. It's just some new 2023 stuff. Bought it for $3. Let's see what it's worth. Pays to wait. I'm pretty sure if someone did a supercut, you could find at least 25 plus times where Joel and I have been like, don't buy the card until you need it. I think there's some videos where I've said, wait forever. All right, let's see. Lightly played foil, you're gonna get it for like $2 after shipping. Massive $1 loss on that. So far we're down like, I don't know, we might be down. I mean, we have to remember that we did make up $60 for buying this at the right time, because this box is worth like $182. So we have to keep that in mind. Since this box is worth $182 and we paid $120 for it, that's $60 in the green that we have to take into account before we start to calculate these massive like $1 and $2 losses on these. I don't even know, dude. This is crazy. It's like that Joe Exotic meme, dude.
I am never gonna financially recover from this.
We got the Ozolith here.
The Ozolith.
Everything is special, so
They
nothing is
haven't
special.
even put this in a freaking deck.
Oh, they actually included some extra stuff with this. This is fun.
They put
I did
extra
not
cards in
order
here. We're
this
gonna have to
Glissa
calculate
Herald
what
of
these are worth.
Predation. They did send a foil Glissa with this version of
Foil
Ozolith, the
Glissa.
Shattered Spire extended art foil.
See what the foil free Glissa is worth. Foil is about 37 cents. Let's say the foil's worth $1 after shipping.
This is a card that I got in a draft and it performed very well. One green, one other. If one or more 1/1 counters would be put on an artifact or creature you control, that many +1/+1/+1 counters are put on it instead. And then for 1 green and 1 other, tap, put a 1/1 counter on target artifact or creature you control, activate only as a sorcery. And it has cycling because, you know, why not? Late game, you might just not need it. Cycle it away. You don't need it. Get rid of it. Card is so strong. This Ozolith, I picked up for $7.57 after tax and shipping. That one has pretty much stayed the same.
Here we go. Extended art. Extended art foil. So I paid $7 for the extended art foil. It's worth about 9. Let's say 9 or 10. So $2 gain there. It's an entire McChicken.
Same. I think that card is very good, though. Not
It is
surprised
good.
I'd stay there. Now, this is actually funny, too, because another Imperasaur, we already talked about this. This one is
Another
foil
Imperasaur.
extended. They sent a couple things, a Finn the Fangbearer and a Renata, which I
Not
also
looking
did not
those
order.
up.
But that's
Those
cool.
are free tendies.
I mean, a couple little extras. I like when people do that. Thalia. I just like this version. This is how they're just tricking me with all of this. This etched Thalia, $3.06 paid for this after tax and shipping. There are so many Thalia
I know I'm being tricked. I even say it in the video. God, I can
Thalia
barely
variants,
tell
but I was
because
like,
my
I really
camera's
like
so
the extended
terrible.
one.
That's how much scamming we're doing over here. We're literally filming on potatoes. Lightly played foil, about $3 after shipping. Even.
And maybe I'll put it in cube. I don't even have a deck for it. I just bought it. Another copy of Dreadhorde Invasion. This one is the promo. This one I either paid $3.62 for, $3.67 for.
So
Just
we
put that
made
up there
like
with the other
$1
code.
off it.
If you are enjoying this video, I do encourage you to click like and subscribe.
Look at this,
It's a
dude.
great way to support the channel. If you are enjoying
I'm
the
gonna
videos
end
here,
up
if you're here
buying
for
a
the second
house.
time, if you've been here
Look at
before,
this.
and just go ahead and subscribe. We know that you like hanging out. We can tell.
You know,
And then we do have
freaking
two
getting a
Imperasaurs
house
here.
off of these
and with
buys
these
here.
two-
Look at this. All right, I bought a couple widespread brutalities. I bought 4 ancient Imperasaur for the playset because I wanted to play this card. Playset sits, but I do like the card still. I like that it's like a sleeper, really good Convoke card.
These two Imperasaurs cost $3.43 for the pair. And so you can see here, I just didn't have any copies of the Imperasaur, so I wanted to have a playset just in case I decide to play that card in a deck. Then I do have 2 copies of Etali, and I got these a while back. I don't think I paid more than like $2 or $3 a card. I bought these because I do
Etali, $2 to $3 a card. Looks like we're gonna be buying a house and a Lambo off this. Pretty crazy. I hope you didn't listen to me to buy Etali for $2 to $3 a card. You would be really, really, really annoyed right now.
have 2 other copies of Etali, and I was thinking because I've seen this card played in some constructed decks, I was like, we'll just pick them up for cheap and have the 4 set just in case. Etali Primal Conqueror is a massive card. It has the Blightsteel Colossus on the back, which is busted, but on the front of the card, it's got just so much value. It's like a Chaos Wand versus everybody. When it ETBs, each player exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile a non-land.
See, and I even say it right here. I say I buy these because I want to have them for a constructed deck. This wasn't a spec. So I'm not like saying go buy Etali because it's going to go up in price. This is just me talking about, oh, you know, this is a card that I like. I like it because I like Chaos Wand, because I'm such a Johnny player and I like stuff that's pretty janky. And Chaos Wand is one of my favorite cards ever. Shout out to Chaos Wand. Etali reminded me of that. I got this card and then, you know, like it was like maybe a month later, a few months later, this card really starts taking off as like a CDH card, and it's an extremely sweaty card. You essentially become arch enemy when you play it. There's just so much value off of it. I mean, I have like multiple foils of this, and you know, I bought these versions and I just was like just such a fan of the card, and now I'm not even surprised how much of a powerhouse it is.
Land card, you may cast any number of spells from among the non-land cards exiled this way without paying their mana cost, and that is a may. So you're doing it with yourself and everybody else. That's what she said. Next up, we have Doors of Durin. Another copy of this. We've already talked about why this card is good, but these
Doors of Durin.
This is another extended art one. I
This is
either
where we
paid
start
for
giving
the extended
back.
art Doors of Durin. I paid, and none of these are foil except for the non-extended. All of the extendeds were $3.16, $1.95, and $4.16. Croxa and Kurnos.
Jeez.
And again, somebody sent something extra, a Rankle and Torbrand, which is funny. Didn't order that card, but it's a card I'm interested in, and it's cool. But I did order the Croxa and Kurnos, which ended up being $3.74 for this card. Pretty sure.
Croxa and Kurnos. The deck that never was constructed. Yeah. Nice loss.
I overpaid for that. A lot of this stuff is just bottomed out. Just bottomed out like crazy. This is a fun card. The Skithrix, the Blight Dragon, this is the Multiverse Legends foil.
Oh,
we talked
this
about
is
this
gonna be
card
a fun one
when
to
this
end
set
on.
was spoiled, and we were like, you know, it'd be cool if we see, you know, like this version get down to the $15 range. Well, this version has actually got down to the $7 range, which is where I purchased this. I purchased this after tax and shipping it for $8.54, which for me is a really good pickup.
I love that I track these prices. Well done, Jake. $8.54. Checking the foil price. $8.64. After tax and shipping, I'm looking at about $8.30. $8.50. So it is pretty much just that. That's how scarcity works, folks. Big shout out to all of our patrons at the enthusiast level, which is $10 or higher. You get to all enjoy an exclusive video. You are Brandon, Prinny, Travis, Corey, Dustin, Emilio, Clay, T-Wolf, Matthew, Nitro, Nick, Matt, Joseph, Quantum Mechanic, John, Chris, Betty, Kenneth, William, Dominique, B-Mac, Friendo, Nico, Annihilator, Ian of Wildcat MTG, Aaron, David, Josh K, Sean Brown, JR, Hunter, Dustin, Zach G, Ryan Freeborn, Ryan, Kevin, Corey, Jay Bano, Kirknall, Edward Davidson, Dustin Brown, Juniper, Clay, Jack, Walter, Brian, Paul, and Christopher. We appreciate all of you so much. Thank you so much for your continued support. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. See ya.